One is grown in water. The other is planned for soil cultivation. The soil-grown one is quite simple. I sprayed some cool water on it to wake it up. After 20 days in the soil, on the 25th day, a small shoot appeared. By the 30th day, leaves started to grow. Looking closely, it actually looks a bit ugly. By the 35th day, the leaves had grown bigger. By the 50th day, it already looked like a little tree. After that, the leaves became denser. This short and bushy form looks quite nice. By the 62nd day, it stood tall and elegant. When I pulled it out, the sweet potato was full of roots. I simply placed it into a ceramic pot, filling the gaps with a bit of soil. Now, let's check on the hydroponic sweet potato. This one took 30 days to sprout. By day 42, it finally started growing some roots. It still looked stiff and silly. Does anyone know why this hydroponic sweet potato isn't growing well? Let's try celery next. I wanted to experiment with hydroponics. So, I simply cut off the root of a celery stalk. This tiny thing. They say if you grow it well, one family won't be able to finish eating it with a let's give it a try attitude. I fixed the celery root in place with wooden sticks, then placed it over a glass jar of water to let it grow. By day 7, not much change. The leaves had grown slightly bigger. After a few more days, the leaves perked up, but still no roots. A few days later, the leaves grew a little more and turned greener. Finally, it started to grow roots. I felt that hydroponics lacked nutrients, so I decided to transfer it to soil. I dug a hole and placed it in, leveled the soil, and watered it thoroughly. By day 50 days, by day 54 days, it entered a rapid growth phase. By day 58 days, by day 61 days, its color had turned a deep, glossy green. The old outer stems had completely dried up. Now, let's check out pineapple planting. It was a spontaneous idea. I wanted to buy a potted pineapple to observe its ripening process. To help it grow better, I transplanted it into a bigger pot with nutrient-rich humus soil. After repotting, I liked it even more, just waiting for the little pineapple to ripen. After about a month, the skin of the pineapple started turning slightly yellow. Looking closely, it seemed almost ripe. By day 50, the outer skin had turned even more yellow, though the bottom part was still green. Finally, it was time to cut it. I planned to taste it. The pineapple plant itself would continue to grow. This little pineapple looked perfectly ripe. Cutting it open, I could smell its rich, fruity aroma. As for the pineapple crown, I didn't throw it away. I peeled off the old leaves, trimmed it up, and prepared it for hydroponics. I simply placed it in a small teacup with some water. If grown properly, it won't be long before it becomes another pineapple tree.